This episode of The Totally Rad Show is brought to you by AN Hosting, offering premium web hosting since 2001. Coming up, 3 have been killed before him. Today we dissect I Am Number 4.
Today in movies, we are talking about I Am Number 4, which is out in theaters right now. And basically, I Am Number 4 is about a teenager who is hiding out in a small town because he is actually an alien.
What?
That a whole race of aliens is trying to kill. There are 3 of his kind that were killed before him. He is number 4.
Of 9.
Of 9.
I can't wait till the 7 of 9 movie.
It's written by Golf Millar, who are the creators of Smallville, possibly some other things, as well as Marty Noxon, who was a writer of Buffy and then went on to write some other geek-centric shows. Alex was unable to make it to the screening.
See ya!
He was number 5.
He was number 5.
I was number 5.
What do you think? You've seen the trailers, however,
Yeah.
for this. What do you think this movie is?
I'm very excited for the movie.
Yeah.
But I have that mixed emotion of like, you know, it could be Jumper. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, you like
Which
Jumper.
is a good thing or a bad
That's a good
thing?
thing.
I don't know
You like
about-
Jumper.
I liked Jumper, but it's not a great movie. Jumper is
Right.
a kind of not great movie that is fun.
Right.
And I enjoyed it.
Right. So that would be the good news.
No, the other side. I think there's no way this is going to be so bad, in my opinion,
Yeah.
so bad that Alex wouldn't at least enjoy it.
Right.
I mean, it just holds cars up in the air. Yeah, so I kind of feel like, is it going to be something that like transcends and is
Right.
this big, you know, like Iron Man, where I'm like, it's actually a great movie as well
Right.
as cool to watch,
Right.
or Jumper, which is not a great movie but fun to watch.
Right. But there's no way it could be
I don't think so.
in some other zone.
He holds a car up in his face.
I got bad news for you, Alex. You and I are both Oli fans, and Timothy Olyphant is in this film. Excited to see him. That's a good thing about the movie. This movie is terrible, and it's unfortunate because there's a grain of something cool. The last 10 minutes are pretty cool if you like sci-fi cars thrown over your head, but I got bad news
I like
for you,
that.
Alex. That stuff doesn't happen until the last 10 minutes of this movie. This is mostly a teen, high school, awkward kind of
It's like
comedy.
Twilight
Yes.
for
It's exactly
guys,
what it is.
sort of,
I think
but-
that's why it got green lighted, because that's exactly where it sits. And boy, it doesn't even have the charm of a Twilight.
Yeah.
I think the actors, other than Timothy Olyphant, across the board are just bland and uninteresting. They're all of the aliens, or all the like teens in this, not the aliens, all the teens in this movie are blonde, attractive. It's like the Aryan casting director was working on this film. They all look the same to me.
They did?
Yeah, and that girl who plays the lead girl, like she's always
girl from Glee. Actress
acting
from Glee.
in
Teresa Palmer.
slow motion.
Which one from Glee?
Always
cheerleader.
Cheerleader, oh,
saying things slowly.
I thought actually that was an interesting take. I have to
Maybe.
say, I thought that was really an interesting way of playing that role. 'Cause
But there is not a single action scene in this movie, not a single action scene in this movie, and there are several action scenes, that takes place in the light. They all take place at night in the dark. And I think it's to cover up probably a low budget special effects, maybe? I don't know. There is some cool stuff that happens toward the end. It gets really sci-fi, gets really space battle-y, cool, but every character is two-dimensional. What this movie is to me is simple. It is the most simple approach to this kind of thing. And it was clearly based on a novel, or series of novels,
That's
maybe.
right, it's based on a novel, that's right.
That's right, I remember that.
I had to say that.
The whole beginning, it feels like a lot of these movies that are based on novels, where the whole beginning feels rushed, and we're like trying to get through all this information and all this dense stuff that probably in the book is really interesting and you really connect to because you have the time to hear about all the history of all this stuff. And in a movie, we don't. And it's just every situation. I mean, it's a movie about Mr. Glowy Hands. who is kind of a metaphor for being awkward and hitting puberty, but it's the most simple version of all of those motifs.
Yeah, I thought it was a really bizarre movie.
In a good way?
Not in a good way. I gotta say, the thing that you're looking for the most is, as Jeff said, really, there's a sprinkle of action in the beginning, there's a sprinkle of action in the middle, but not really. It really doesn't happen until the end. If the movie had, but not only, it's weird because not only does the action sequence not happen until the end, but the movie doesn't really kick into gear until the end. I kind of feel like they could have started the movie where the end was. They opened on, okay, shit, crap's happening in high school, and now we got to deal with it. You know, it's a bizarre plot.
Yeah.
And it's a.
Which is really disappointing because I was really looking forward to it, to the ride.
Yeah, it's not that. Me too. I was super. I think I may be more excited for this movie than most of the movies that came out last year. Most of the summer movies that came out last year, because I thought I was gonna get a refreshing glass of, like, you know, when I was younger, I really enjoyed the movie Clock Stoppers. Not even younger, in college, when I was too old for it. Like, once in a while, I like these kids' action films. And this. The one thing that was interesting, I thought, about this movie is that it was completely unironic. It was completely not postmodern. There was no winking to the audience. There was no. It was as if Close Encounters or Starman or E.T. or any of those movies had never been made. It wasn't like, you've seen those movies and now here's this, or the actors never have a moment, or the characters never have a moment where, like, hey man, you're like, I know this because of E.T. There was one Xbox comment, which is sort of obligatory at this point in an action movie featuring kids. But and the bully like pushes a kid into a locker as if that had never happened in a movie. There was something somewhat refreshing about that, and I think a lot of kids are going to go. This is going to be their first movie like this, and I wish that there was more action for them to see. I wish that there was a little bit more to it. And the audience that we saw it with, which had a lot of teenagers,
seemed to
cheered.
like it.
They those moments landed. I will say, there is when the action kicks in and there's a chick that comes out of nowhere that starts kicking.
Like I was like, that movie's good.
Yeah,
it's like cool. 10 minutes at the end.
The movie should have been them on the run, which is kind of what the trailer is.
They're setting up for the second
movie. The movie is not them on the run. The movie is like him hanging out. Like,
yeah, and it doesn't make any sense. All the setup doesn't make any sense as to why they stay in this town, and then, you know, it's like this cheesy,
to
like,
have it happen rather than like actually be.
Oh, you're not like a human. You love forever. Well, I got bad news for you, because the high school girl that you're dating doesn't love forever. She is human, and it's gonna suck for you later.
Well, that's too bad. Sounds like it was a disappointment.
It was a major disappointment.
I'm gonna watch it on high def cable and see what happens.
It's awful.
Interesting.
I am excited to be awful. All right, people, remember to stick around for this week's bloopers, which are always fun. But first, we want to thank our sponsors. AN Hosting has been providing simple and affordable web hosting since 2001. It features an exclusive discount, 3 months free web hosting for TRS viewers.
That's really
Free
good.
domain and $100 search engine credit for Google or Yahoo with signups. 24/7 US-based support by phone or email. Over 100 popular scripts like Drupal, WordPress, you can install them with just one click. So visit AN Hosting, the letter A, the letter N, hosting.com/TRS to get your 3 months free. Remember to send in your backgrounds, so like this awesome scroll background we got.
Yeah.
Fans at totallyradshow.com.
Yeah, super cool. We're also doing questions again, so send us those, fans at totallyradshow.com, if you're interested in seeing your question on our show.
And jinx.com/TRS to get all the greatest TRS shirts and sweatshirts.
Have a good weekend. Whoop. Here we go. All right, everybody, before we get going, remember to, none of that was right. Here we go, ready? All right, be sure to stick around. Right after this, we're gonna be, fucking what?
What are we gonna be fucking?
What?
Dan's in his zone. He's in his zone.
Yeah, I can see it.
He is number 4.
Trying. Working on
He is
it.
number 4.
You ready?
Yep.
Okay.
This guy. Shit. Jeff, you do it.
Two other aces.
45 damage?
Holy shit.
Oh my god.
Storm.
45 damage. And it was ace v ace.
Dude, if you had
And I could have
that,
dodge aced it if I.
did you aced it?
45 damage. I'm down to 20.
And I had to spend all my cards to do it.
The best part is it's free.
What?
Oh,
What?
it's how do I do all that?
Oh, just push a button.
Bang, 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 bang. Punch, kick, punch.
Brilliant. Hadouken.
Yo, me.
And I love me some boobs.
Give it, put it in me.